Hello there everyone, Shibby here. Hope everyone out there is doing well, and today I'm back for the first time in a very long time with some Pokemon trading card game Pocket ranked matches. For those of you who follow my Pokemon content or care about it at all, the reason I haven't been making a lot of Pocket stuff is namely because there hasn't really been a ranked mode for me to make ranked videos out of, so I just really haven't been playing the game all that much, honestly. And the second thing, and probably the most important, was I just ran out of deck ideas because I'm not a very creative person and just could not think of anything to play or to make a video upon. So yeah, so here we are. I finally have come up with some ideas that I've actually been wanting to try out and play, and now that ranked is back, I figured why not make some more Pokemon videos with some of the deck ideas I want to try out now. So yeah, expect a little bit more consistency with Pocket. It's not going to be an everyday thing, but I do have a few more ideas, so hopefully for the next little bit they should be intermittently spread out along with my other fighting game crap that I put out. But yeah, that's enough of me rambling here. So for the big comeback of Pocket, the deck I wanted to try out was a Suicune Greninja deck, but with Greninja EX. It's a very similar to a normal Suicune Greninja deck that you would see. We're just running, Suicune EX, one copy of a normal Greninja, one copy of Greninja EX, and then Giratina EX just for a little bit of support, just in case we need to do some big damage. But the big gimmick with Greninja EX is kind of similar to Solgaleo-ish, in which you can freely, or well, not freely, but once per turn, swap your active water Pokemon with a water Pokemon on your bench to swap and change out for free without having to worry about a retreat cost. So we're going to try that out and see what we can get done with it. If you want to see the full deck list, I will have it in the description of the video below. But yeah, I think I've talked enough and not played anything. I've not talked enough and there's been a little bit too little playing here. So yeah, I'm just going to shut up now. We're going to go find our first match and see what we can get done in ranked with Suicune EX here. I'll be back when I find my first game. Alrighty, looks like I found my first opponent here. And we are going first, which is never good. Or at least I will never not complain about it. Alright, we got two Froakies in our opening hand and Greninja, but no rare candy. But we do have a Pokeball and an Oak, so we might be able to remedy that. Looks like we're going up against a, well, I hesitate to call this a Tapu Lele deck, but they've opened up with Tapu Lele. Alright, well, we got Greninja in our hand, so it means we should be able to get into Suicune here, since we've already got both of our Froakies out. Alright, let's throw Suicune on our bench, and we might as well throw Giratina out here too, since we can't do anything on our first turn energy-wise anyway, so we can at least get Giratina kind of kick-started out here. And we already got our rare candy as well, and Irja. So we can start making some schmoobs here. Alright, let's go ahead and put an energy into Giratina, and that will end our turn. So I wonder what they could be playing alongside Tapu Lele. I see Mewtwo, excuse me, I kind of think of the word card sleeve, so I hesitated for a moment. They have Mewtwo card sleeve, so I wonder if they might be playing a Mewtwo deck. Is what I was trying to get out through my stupidity. And I was right. There's Mewtwo. And they've opted to put an energy into old Mewtwo here. Alright, we get a Cyrus, so we can pull him in here if we really want to. Alright, let's get energy into the Froakie. Let's play our rare candy. And let's go ahead and get Greninja out. And let's go ahead and pop Mewtwo since he is the biggest threat, obviously. And since I can't attack or anything, might as well build up our Greninja. Alright, so preparing for next turn, we can snipe him again and then maybe just Cyrus him in to hit him for 60 and do a total of 80. And kind of make it a little bit more risky for him to use Mewtwo, but we'll see. I have to get another one on the bench. Maybe it might have been smart for me to put Suicune out front. But we're going to take a gamble here. Alright, they're going to retreat into Mewtwo, I'd presume, so that saves us a Cyrus at the very least. So they're going to take the 50 damage here. That's totally fine. Because we're going to heal our Greninja here. And they don't have a Gardevoir to really do any... They conceded. All right. I was going to say, they don't have a Gardevoir really to do any kind of energy acceleration. So, yeah, they kind of gave up faster than what I thought. They could have maybe still pulled it out, but they might have bricked pretty bad too, so who knows. All right, we'll take the return to Pokemon with the victory out of the gate, I suppose. Good game to that opponent. I'll be back when I find my next match. Alrighty, looks like I found my next opponent here, and we are going first yet again. Hopefully in that case we can start up with Suicune. Alright, we actually do. So it means we can mill out our deck faster, ideally, and get into what we need. And they also drew into their Suicune as well. Alright, so we're kind of just racing to see who can get built up first here. Alright, we get our Giratina. Let's play our Oak to mill the deck out further. We get a Greninja and an Eardra, but not much else. That's really all I can do. So we'll build up our Giratina in the back and draw a card to the Suicune, and we get a Pokeball, so we can net a basic on our next turn. Hopefully it's Froakie. It'd been nice to get him on turn 1 so we could have already evolved into Greninja, but we're not going to be that lucky. But they've already got their Pokeball. Are they running Suicune, Greninja as well? I mean, it's not really that much of an uncommon thing, so I wouldn't be surprised if they are. I don't really know. I mean, granted, I'm not a genius deck builder of any kind, but I don't know of like any of all the different options to build a deck around Suicune. All right, they are taking their sweet time thinking. Big decisions to make here. All right, go ahead and play your Froakie or your second Suicune. You know you want to. Or they can let the timer run down and not actually make a move. Mantike. Okay, so they might be... Interesting. But they can make me get rid of a card here. I think a trainer card. So probably Oak. I imagine it's getting ready to go bye-bye. Am I right or am I right? Yep, there goes the Oak. So we are not going to draw 2 cards next turn. All right, unless I get it right here, that would be just hysterical. All right. No such luck. Hopefully this is a Froakie. It is, so we get a little bit of good fortune on our side. I mean, Suicune's going to get popped. Kind of the unfortunateness of having to go second here as I get to attack first. Guess we'll just put energy into Giratina here and do what we can. Then we get another Pokeball so we can grab our second Suicune or Suicune. Or Suicune, excuse me, our second Suicune or Froakie. I debate in my head back and forth on how to say Suicune's name. I know it's Suicune, but for some dumb reason, I want to add 15 I's to it and just call him Suicune. I don't know why. I'm stupid. Alright, so we get popped here. Alright, we get another Froakie here. So if we play our Pokeball, then we're going to get our second Suicune. Alright, we would have Irida, so we can heal our Suicune, so we're going to. And we're going to play Rare Candy. Get our Greninja up and moving. I'm also going to put energy into Suicune here, and then I'm going to put another Suicune on the bench. Now, is this going to KO Suicune? I'm not 100% sure, but it should be decent damage either way. So it might just be worth it to attack. Yeah, we're only going to do 100. But I will take that 100. Namely because they got 2 Mantikes on the bench, and we can take them out with Greninja. So we're going to take that gamble. Alright, now they got their Froakie. Now do they swing or run? Alright, they're going to get rid of our Suicune. I believe that is a smart decision. But we're going to bring Giratina to the front. and off our bench here, since Giratina will actually be able to attack faster. All right, I don't want to play Cyrus. I want the Froakie, please. All right. Let's get Froakie in here. Get a water energy into our Giratina. And let's go ahead and water Shuriken Suicune. And down Suicune goes. And I think they pretty much have to bring Froakie to the front. And they do. And we are going to bellow it out. And now our Giratina is good to go next turn. And they can't... I mean, there's nothing they can do to KO me here. And because we have the combination of Greninja and Cyrus, we can forcibly bring in one of the Mantikes. I think at their second Suicune. Do they opt to retreat or just attack? No, they could Sabrina something in. Right, even all the additional damage really isn't going to help much. Yeah, we still survive. All right, well, let's go ahead. And they conceded. All right. Well, we were going to win that one, so I can completely understand why they didn't want to finish it out. They did manage to get some good fortune to get their Suicune out of the way. And just had a little bit better of pulls and draws than they did. And we're able to get across the finish line here. But yeah, good game to the opponent. And I'll be back when I find one more match. Alrighty, looks like I found potentially my final opponent here, depending on how long this match lasts. It looks like we are going first yet again. So, good thing we start with Suicune. And there's our Greninja EX. I was wondering where the lad has been. You know, I kind of wanted to try out Greninja EX, which is kind of why I built the deck this way, but just haven't seen him. But, I mean, it's like searching for a needle in a haystack because we're only running the one. Alright, but we get our Froakie here, so that should help accelerate things just a smidge. If this is an enemy of rare candy, that'd be even better. Alright, it did not, but we can't have all the luck in the world, and it's going to be all I can do. Alright, change turns here, see what we draw. Alright, we get our Giratina. Been kind of nice to have him on turn one, just so we could have accelerated, or just get accelerated the engine input and just get him going. Alright, we're going up against a Lillipup deck. I'm not too familiar with this deck, if I'm being completely honest. They're running Fire Energy, so I don't know if they're running this in, like, conjunction with something else. Alright, let's get Giratina onto the field. Let's oak it up and live a little and see if we can draw into our rare candy. We do, so we can get our Greninja EX up. Let's also play Froakie, or play our Pokeball to get our Froakie. Our second one, that is. Put a water energy into Suicune. We'll play our rare candy. We got each Greninja. So I think it would actually be better to play this one so we can chip away and play around our Cyrus. So we'll do 20 to Lillipup here. And since we can and can't attack anyway, let's go ahead and get energy into Giratina. Draw a card, and we get our Frogadier, so we can also get our other Greninja up as well. Maybe that's going to take us a little bit longer. Okay. So what their move is, so they're running Blaziken. I'd presume Mega Blaziken. So we do have the type advantage here, which is nice. Alright, so I think what I want to do here is, well, we're going to bob our Froakie first. But I'm going to Sabrina in the Torchic because I don't want to get Blaziken to death. And we will pop the little pup. And get rid of this Torchic. We have the type advantage, so this should do, what, 100? And we get rid of the threat of Blaziken. At least for now. And we have a way to heal our Suicune next turn. So hopefully there's not a way they can get up over 100 HP. But we shall see. Alright, so they're going to evolve their Lillipup here. I forget what Stoutland does. Okay, so attacks in the active spot cost 20 more. Okay. Or cost 1 more energy, excuse me. Don't know why I said 20 more, I'm an idiot. Alright. Alright, I guess we need 1 more water energy to Suicune here. Let's get our Greninja EX up. Let's chip away at this Stoutland here. 20. Let's heal and feel so we don't get KO'd next turn. Actually, we do get KO'd next turn, excuse me. See, I can freely swap with Greninja. How much damage do I do? So I'm only going to do 60, so it's not really going to be anything of note. Alright, we'll just use Greninja's effect. And I will bring in Greninja. So we can tank the hit and heal Suicune next turn. And since we can freely move about, we can get Giratina loaded up here. Now they could swap in my Suicune, and that would be unfortunate. But let's hope that didn't happen. Let's hope I didn't speak that into fruition. Alright, they're going to play Giovanni, so they're going to do an extra 10. So I'm going to do 80 here. Alright, that's fine. It's not fine, but it's fine. Alright, so let's get a water energy to our Giratina. We're going to play... Well, let's go ahead and do Water Stricken first. We're going to play Irida and heal up all of our water Pokemon here. No, we're not, because I don't have a water energy into this Greninja because I am an idiot. All right. So just 1 extra Starless energy. So I was making sure I could attack next turn. I didn't know if I needed like an extra Psychic energy or if just an extra water energy would do on Giratina next turn. All right, we're going to Broken Space and bellow it out. Next turn, we can take out this Stoutland. I think we can do it with either Giratina or Suicune. I was hoping to do this fast enough to where they couldn't get anything built up, but unfortunately we are running a little slow here. Alright, we can still take out the Stoutland, that's fine. Alright, we get another rare candy, but we don't really need it. Let's go ahead and Water Shuriken the Stoutland. And let us use Greninja's effect. Get Greninja out, bring Giratina in. Let's get another water energy to him so we can attack. And let's go ahead and close things out by taking out Stoutland here. And since they have no other Pokemon on the bench, that is game over here. Well, alright, well we managed to actually win 3 straight games in a row with this deck. Which I'm not one to be able to judge the true strength of a deck here. But it seems like it might be right. I mean, it's Greninja and Suicune still, but with just Greninja EX. And just having that little extra ability to change your Pokemon in and out seems to kind of go a long way here. But yeah, I do think I'm going to end the video here, though. If you make this far in the video, thanks for watching. Feel free to leave me any deck notes or suggestions that might be fun to try out. And as I mentioned before, my long-ass preamble at the beginning of this video, I'm going to try to make more Pocket stuff now that I ranked is back and I have a couple more ideas that I want to try out. But yeah, as I said a second ago, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe if you like it. I'll catch you guys in the next one.